Welcome, welcome everyone. Happy Wednesday and happy May 1st. I can't believe that these days and months are going by so quickly. Welcome to the power of video in multimedia marketing. So, as you know, if you've been following me every single week, I am now yet again testing out a new live streaming platform. I'm on StreamYard this month. So, I'm testing this one out for the first time. Hopefully, it's going to do me better than Riverside did. So, sorry for anybody who is a huge fan of Riverside. I particularly did not care for them. But if you have other platforms that you think I should be checking out, let me know. But I've tried Restream, I've tried Riverside, and now I am trying StreamYard because it's been a while since I've been on StreamYard. But let's get started and talk about multimedia marketing. So I wanted to talk about multimedia marketing primarily because of the fact that when we think of marketing our businesses, we need to think of it on multiple levels. And we do need to incorporate multi-level or multimedia marketing in order for us to share our expertise, our knowledge, and our content on multiple platforms. And so I kind of wanted to just come in and share some thoughts that I have in terms of plans that I have for my business. Now, some of you who may be new to my live streams may not know that live streaming is not something that I used to do on a regular basis. I was more doing custom videos and not doing live streams because live streams, frankly, scared the bejesus out of me. And so ever since 2024 started, I committed myself to coming on here live every single month. So if you are watching the replay or if you're coming in live, please leave a comment so that I will know that you are here. And it doesn't matter to me whether I'm doing these lives in front of a bunch of people or if nobody is on here. The thing that I want to do for myself is get used to doing live streams. So that is the point of what I wanted to do these for. So let's get started in talking about multimedia marketing. So let me get my first banner up. So first I want to share my thoughts and talk a little bit about just an overview of multimedia marketing in general. Because again, like I said, that's something that we all need to recognize that we need to do for our businesses. So it's basically multimedia marketing is essentially a strategy where multiple media types are at play when it comes to communicating with your ideal audience and sharing your marketing message with your target audience. So what is included in multimedia marketing? First, there's text, which is blog posts or emails. It's anything that's written and shared with your audience via blog posts, any kind of articles that you might do for LinkedIn or for other places, emails, the captions that go along with your social media, as well as your website. So that's all text-based. So we all should be creating text-based media. I, for a long time, was not doing that, but now I am starting to embrace that a little bit more. This way of communicating or sharing your medium is good if you want to educate and inform your audience about whatever it is that you're knowledgeable about or that you're an expert in. It also plays really well when it comes to search engine optimization, because obviously if you're putting a blog post that has all of the keywords that you want to get recognized for on your website and your website is optimized, then it just lends itself to you being able to get found a lot faster and easier through text. So text is one of the formats. The next one is images. And and the other thing that I wanted to share, and I'll probably repeat myself on this, is that text also lends itself well to social media. I think I mentioned the captions. So you want to make sure that you're using text. Images also is good with or used for social media. And that's basically any sort of image, whether it's an image of yourself or it could be an image of something that represents what you are doing that represents your knowledge and expertise, and usually is accompanied by text captions that can elaborate and expand on it. Included in images is also infographics, which I've not used infographics in a really, really long time, but I do think that it is something that people are still using. So if you are someone that uses infographics where you like to sort of map out visually the steps perhaps that somebody has to go through in order to accomplish certain things, then that definitely would work for you. If you want to use illustrations or graphics, I tend to use those now with my blog posts. So I'll do my text, but then I'll incorporate images in that. And then that lends itself well for you to then use that on various social media platforms that are image based, like Pinterest and Instagram. So then the third section is audio. Audio is becoming way, 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 way bigger than it used to be. Whether it's audio events like they have on LinkedIn. I can't think of the standalone one. I used to have it, and I can't think of what the standalone audio event social media platform was. But that really sort of turned people on to listening as opposed to coming into a live stream like this. They would listen to audio events. I've not tested out LinkedIn's audio event yet. I probably will try to dabble in that just to see. My goal and intention for 2024 is to experiment, to try things and do things that I've never done before. So I will definitely be doing that. But podcasts are another way for you to add into your multimedia mix, is whether you're hosting a podcast and you're going to be interviewing people, or you are a guest. You can certainly do that. Also, if you're going to create content that just is only encompassing your voice and doesn't have an accompanying imagery, well, it could still have imagery, but it's the prominent resource is your voice, and that's an audio method for you to use. Podcasting in particular, when it comes to audio, is really good because it allows for in-depth discussions that you can have with the topic that you're talking about if you're a solo podcaster, or with the interviewee that you're interviewing, or if you have done panel type podcasts where you have a group of people and you're discussing a particular topic. It lends itself really well to having more in-depth conversations. The only way that visuals do, which is the next category that I'm coming up with, is if you're doing a video panel type discussion or a video podcast. But obviously, video can combine all of those methods into one, and that can be your visual component. The way that I do my videos are, right now, I'm challenging myself to be more comfortable with live streams. So I'm doing live streams, but I used to do pre-recorded videos, which were primarily tutorial videos in the past, but you can certainly incorporate all of the different elements, the audio, the imagery, the text, into a video format. So if you are on and have any questions, feel free to post them. Supposedly with StreamYard, I'm supposed to be able to see everything in the comments. So if you do want to share anything, let me know what you want to share. You can just say hi if that is what you want to do. If you do not hear back from me, then it's because I wasn't able to see the comments. Okay, so up next is the components of multimedia marketing. So the components are definitely things like understanding who your target audience is. And when I say that, it's more not so much from a perspective of what do they want you to talk about, but more from a perspective of how do you need to deliver that content in order for them to absorb it in the way that's best for them. So I have a tendency, because I'm a visual person, I prefer to convey my message in a visual format. But I do recognize that there are others that may be on my email list or that follow me that are not necessarily staunch visual learners. But visual learners obviously are going to be the ones that will do videos as well as imagery. The next is auditory. So that would be the podcast, people that prefer to listen to podcasts would be someone like that. So you can either take your podcast and create clips of that to share with your audience so that they can listen to it. Or you can do the audio events that they have on LinkedIn. And you can certainly repurpose a video and just strip the audio from that and repurpose that if you have a lot of people that are on your email list or that follow you that are more auditory learners. And then the last is readers, people that, will always prefer to read or consume their content through text. And so that's in the form of blog posts or emails. They'll more likely than not read your blog post and read your emails. You can always incorporate all of these three with the other. So a visual learner, you can incorporate text, obviously, in that, and vice versa. You can incorporate visuals and audio into your text forms as well. The other is, what is the mix of content that you want to share with your audience? So a lot of times it could be, I'm going to share the ratio 80-20. A lot of times when people say that, they're talking about social media in particular, and they're saying you want your social media mix to be 80% educational, informative, knowledge-based, and 20% promotional. In this realm of the multimedia mix, the way that you want to split it up is like I do. 80% of the content that I'm creating for my audience is going to be in the realm that I'm most comfortable, which is visual. So the vast majority is going to be video, but I am repurposing that video and producing it as an audio, as text as well. So I think that that's really important. Hi, Janine. Nice to see you. I'm glad that you're here. I'm testing out StreamYard. Janine is from Video Boss for Bosses, and she is an expert when it comes to live streaming. And she has totally inspired me to challenge myself and do more live streaming because I'm more comfortable doing pre-recorded videos. So I hope you're proud of me doing these weekly live streams. So yeah, so that's where it goes with the content mix. So for me, I'm going to produce more visual content and then still do the other two, the audio as well as the text. So I take my live streams, for example, and this is how I sort of break it up or rotate it. I will do my live streams. I do a live stream every single week. And then I will do an email for that live stream and send that out to my email list every day or every week after I've done the live stream. Then at the end of the month, I'll combine all of my 4 live streams, or 5 in the instance of this month's live streams, and then I will create a blog post from that. So therefore, I am putting out the content in both formats, but I'm just doing more video, and I'm still doing social media captions for social media. And then I'm doing my emails as well as my blog posts. So I hope that makes sense. Let me check. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Janine. I appreciate your love hearts. Thanks. And so the next thing that you want to make sure that you're incorporating into your multimedia mix is a bit of storytelling. And I'm trying to get, especially with my live streams, I'm trying to make sure that I am sharing storytelling from a standpoint of what I'm doing, in which I've done already. I've shared with you the way that I'm creating multimedia marketing for my business. And I'm trying to convey that in a story format as well. But definitely creating a story and sharing that in the instance of what you've done for your client, or what your client may have learned from you, is certainly definitely ways that you can incorporate storytelling into whatever medium it is, whether it is video. It's probably, I think for me, believe it or not, even though I'm a visual person, I think it's easier for me to still tell stories in a written format, as odd as that may sound. But definitely you can do it in all formats, whether it's in written or visual format. And then obviously audio would be the same. But one thing that you can do is, say, for example, if I were creating a new service, I could do a teaser video that sort of informed you about what that new services. Maybe it could be um, something that is going to revolutionize the way that you create videos. I'm just throwing this out of the top of my head. So I can share a teaser video on basically what the possible results could be for a client. And then I could then follow that up with having a much more detailed description of exactly what this new service is, why I created it, what the benefits of it could be, if I've done a beta version of it, what the results were. And I could do that in a blog post. And then I could follow that up by then promoting it on social media using images either from whatever beta that I did. If I did group coaching, I could do a screenshot of all of us on Zoom, or I could do a screenshot of results that my client has gotten, or just behind the scenes of me planning and preparing for the new service. So that's a way that you can also incorporate storytelling into your multimedia plan. The one thing that you also need to stay present of mind is to have consistent branding. And when I say consistent branding, I am not referring to having the same logo or the brand colors or any of that sort of superficial thing. It's more of making sure that the way you are presenting your content is consistent in all of the ways that you've done it, whether it's a pre-recorded tutorial video for YouTube, a live stream for, LinkedIn, or an audio event for LinkedIn, or a blog post for your website or social media. You want to have a through line of a message and the way that you convey that message to be consistent throughout. You don't want it to seem as if somebody who did the video was completely disconnected from the person that writes your blog posts, if that makes sense. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments so that I can understand what you are struggling with, or what you want to learn a little bit more about. And so we'll just continue and move on. So the next area is repurposing, and repurposing is, or upcycling, whatever terminology it is that you want to use. It's definitely a way for us to take the content that we're creating from whatever that hero or primary area of our level of comfortability is. So for me, it's going to be a video. Video is normally 9 out of 10 times going to be the primary piece of content that I'm creating. And I can turn that video, whatever it is, whether it's a live stream or a pre-recorded video, and turn that into multiple things. So like I've already explained, I take my live streams, and immediately the first thing I'm going to do after this live stream has wrapped is turn that into an email that I'm going to send to my email list. The next thing I can do is also turn that live stream into social media posts where I can share that I talked about whatever it is I talked about. And I can share that in text form only, with maybe an image, or I can actually take a clip of this video and share that on my social media platforms. I also then shared with you that at the end of the month, I compile all of my live streams together, and I then create a blog post that I do on a monthly basis. And that blog post is posted on my website, as well as I share it. I do a summary or like, yeah, a quick little overview or key takeaways. And I'll send that to my email list with a link for them to go to my blog post. Again, I can do this with social media, captions and imagery and things of that nature. I can also, if I wanted to create a carousel for maybe if I'm sharing tips or a process, I can turn that into that kind of content and share that on social media as well. The tool that I love to use for repurposing is, there's two actually. I shouldn't say singular. There are two tools. I love to use castmagic.io because that is a tool that allows me to turn my videos or my recordings into text. So I can create blogs, I can create emails, I can create captions, I can create social media posts, I can create summaries, like literally whatever you can think of that you need to have in a written form, you can create with this tool. And then I use Opus Pro in order to create my either reels or, well, I'm not on Instagram, but if I were, I could use it for reels, or I used it for YouTube shorts, or you can use verticals on all platforms anyway. And then get my captions and then add that to my social media. So repurposing is absolutely vital, because I can't tell you for how long I went without repurposing my content and having to struggle with creating new content, not only for the long form, but then to also add that onto or create short form in the manner of whether it's a short video or if it was going to be some sort of social media post. And with the advent of AI, thank you, with the advent of AI, you can easily do this and be able to have your content shared very, very quickly. So repurposing is absolutely vital for me. And then the next thing, once you've repurposed your content, you need to be cognizant of, okay, where am I sharing this content? And so you need to really be aware of where are the channels, or what are the channels that you need to share your content, and are you sharing the right content to the right channel? So you're not going to send a full YouTube video to Instagram. You're not going to send, you shouldn't really send, technically speaking, your full videos to any social media platform outside of YouTube. But I'm going to tell you that I do, and I'm going to tell you why. I do it purely for brand awareness. So I will share my full length video. Well, right now it's going live. Currently I'm going live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So I technically don't need to send this video anywhere. But if it was a pre-recorded video that obviously was just going to be published on YouTube, I would then share it on something like, say, for example, Alignable or on LinkedIn for bare minimum brand awareness, because it would have text on it that would be a caption that people would want to read. And it will show that there is a thumbnail as the image that if they clicked on it, it obviously is going to take them to YouTube. But it wouldn't really matter to me whether or not they clicked on it from, say, for example, if it was being sent to LinkedIn, because it's for brand awareness. I want them to see that I am producing content on YouTube on a consistent basis because it's coming up in their timeline. So that's the logic that I have for sharing that. But you want to make sure that if it's a reel, that you're sending it to Instagram, or you're sending it to TikTok, or you're putting it on YouTube Shorts. If it is a really nice graphic image, that you're sending that to the right platforms. If it's more heavier with text, that you're sending that to the right platform. So you need to make sure that you are sending your content to the appropriate channel for that type of content. And then finally, you need to make sure that you're including your calls to action. So what is it that you want them to do? after they've watched the video? Do you want them to subscribe to your YouTube channel? Because I'm always used to that. Or do you want them to join your email list? What are they going to get from joining your email list? Do you have some sort of a freebie that perhaps you want to offer to them? I'll be offering a call to action at the end of this video, but you need to think about that in advance so that you can have, whether it's that you need to have an overlay on the image or you're going to include it in the captions or in the description. You want to definitely know what's the point that you want to have with this particular video for YouTube or piece of content, I shouldn't say. I'm just conditioned to say video. For YouTube, it's really advised that you don't always, with each video, send people off of YouTube. You want to create videos in a serial format so that there would be another video that they need to go and watch. So you can say, after you watch this one, check this video out because it explains or expands on whatever it was that you were talking about previously in the current video. So let's go to the next topic. So why does using video in multimedia marketing matter? It matters plain and simple due to visibility. If you want to be seen and found by not only your target audience, using video and all of these pieces of content on social media is going to help. But it is for your videos. It is for being able to be present and seen by your audience wherever they are and however they communicate, whether they're a visual learner, an auditory learner, or they prefer to read text. You'll be able to reach them on all platforms. If they see your information on a consistent basis, that also is beneficial. These are things that I wasn't doing a few years ago. It was taking me, I was just like YouTube. I wasn't concerned with social media and I wasn't concerned with having a presence on the other platforms. And what I did for myself was I narrowed down the number of platforms that I was on because I couldn't handle being on, I was like, what am I going to say on Twitter? I didn't really have a following. So it just was a bit too overwhelming. So I narrowed down the number of platforms. And then I started to be more consistent with certain types of content that I chose to put out there. And I categorized my content based on, do I want to make a connection? Do I want to promote? Do I want to share, success stories or client testimonials? Do I want to promote my YouTube videos? Do I want to promote, other curated content that I think my audience is going to be interested in learning? And that enabled me to be way more consistent than I had ever been before. And then I started getting comments of, oh, cool, I'm seeing more of your stuff. And they're engaging with my content even more. So it really helps for you to have a multimedia marketing approach to your business, because the last area that I'll share is, for most of us as entrepreneurs, we want to be seen as someone that can educate and inform other people's audiences. So when somebody is trying to figure out, I'm looking for somebody in this niche and I want them to speak at my next event, or they may meet you in a networking event and you say, I'm looking for speaking events that I can speak at. What's the first thing that person's going to do, besides saying, hi, nice to meet you, is that they're going to go and do their due diligence and they're going to start researching. And so if they go online, or if they go on to, a social media platform like LinkedIn, and they Google you or they search for you, if they don't see anything coming up where you're sharing your knowledge and your expertise, then why would they want you to come and speak at their event, whether it's an in-person event or a virtual event? So having this kind of a multimedia approach allows you to get seen and found and get the social proof that everyone's always talking about across the board, no matter who it is that's looking for your information or for content about you. And then the last piece is understanding the journey that your prospects are going through. And I know that a lot of people talk about this, and I'm just really glossing over this in reference to video marketing and just marketing in general. I'm not teaching buyers' journeys and things of that nature, but you want to be able to create content to identify and be recognized by your prospects or clients in every stage that they're in. So if someone is just looking to get some general information, actually, before they even get general information, you don't know in the first stage, which is awareness, whether somebody needs you or not. So you need to put your content out there so that they can see what you're knowledgeable about, what your expertise is in. And you need to put that in a format that's short and to the point so that it can attract them when they're not expecting it, meaning that they're not searching for you yet. They're just scrolling. And so it doesn't matter what platform it is. You just would identify the platform with the type of content that you're going to put on that platform. So for me, it's video. So for shorts, I'm going to do shorts that are more, tips, lists, identifying things that would be quick for them to ingest and understand, but yet share with them that I'm knowledgeable about what I'm talking about. And you want to do it in a way where it will allow them to stop and say, oh, this is okay. I get this. This is pretty good. Note to self, if I want to learn any more about this person, this is the person, or this is their YouTube channel, or I could save it or what have you. And the more they see you, the better off that's going to be. So that's in the initial, they're not really sure that they need anything, but they've seen it. So they're going to keep you in the back of their minds. The next is in consideration. That's usually when they are actively searching because they now have a problem. So you need to make sure that you're creating content. Ideally, I'm going to use the example of video, that you're using, say, for example, a YouTube video that is addressing a specific pain point or some sort of a problem that your ideal audience is having, because when they search for it, you want your video to pop up so that they can see that you are someone that can address their issue. The next is then going to be decision. So the decision phase is they are going to be looking for a reason to say yes to you. So in the format of a video, that could be that they've watched either in-depth webinars that you've produced, or they've seen success stories or client testimonials that are not necessarily, again, it's in the format that you are creating for that particular distribution channel. So if it's Instagram, it's in the format of maybe it's an image of your client and it has some sort of a graphic that goes across it. In my instance for video, it's going to be some sort of a video, of an actual video. If you get video testimonials, not everyone wants to do that, but it is advantageous for you to use video testimonials because video just lends itself to the know, like, and trust factor. And so people are going to trust a video probably a lot faster than they would, say, for example, even text without an image. Although even text with images, some people may be like, did that person really say that? Whereas if they're hearing it from their mouths, a video testimonial is the best way. And then the other two stages, which is retention and advocacy, you can, retention obviously is for you to reach out and check in with the client and nurture the relationship. The way that I do that with my audience is I use Loom, which anybody that follows me knows that I'm an avid fan of Loom, because I would sooner send a Loom video than write an email to you. So that's how I sort of retain my clients and I keep in touch with them and I do check-ins and I just, let them know of new things that are going on, is through doing a Loom video, which is just a fast way of me either talking directly to the camera or ideally sharing my screen, whether I'm sharing, a website of a landing page or, a new tool that I'm using or what have you. And then I send that off via an individual email that I'm sending, usually through Gmail is how I will stay in contact with previous clients or clients that are coming towards the end. Advocacy is the last stage, and that's just, you can share content of people that are gladly sharing your information on their platform. So whether it's that they've done a collaborative type of video or blog post or what have you with you, where they're talking about how great it was. This is again sort of testimonial where they're explaining how great it was to work with you and I started here and now I'm here type of a situation. So you definitely want to use media throughout all of those stages as well. All right. So thank you all once again for being here. Whether you're seeing this on live or on the replay, I truly appreciate you being here. And I want to share with you a new challenge not new, my first challenge in years. It's called Unlock Your Video Potential. It's a 5-day challenge that's starting on Monday. It is the first challenge that I've done in probably about 6 or 7 years. And I'm inviting you to join if you have been putting YouTube and creating videos on the back burner because you don't have time. You don't know exactly what it is that you want to do, and you want to have some hand holding through the process. This 5-day challenge is going to be created or has been created to walk you through the steps from ideation to completion in 5 days. And so that by the end of the 5 days, you'll get some kind of a video done and you'll be able to meet with me each day at 4 o'clock. We're going to be live on Zoom so that I can talk to you about whatever that tip or task was for the day. So each day you're going to be given a task that you have to complete. And at 4 o'clock, we'll go over that task. If you have questions, if you need help, if you need hand holding, if you need advice, I will be there on Zoom for you. And it is my first time in a lot of years because I just never really thought that my challenges that I'd done in the past were worthy. And I thankfully have gotten over that. And I understand that my voice is just as important as everyone else's. And I want to help you because that is what my passion is. So if you want to join, that is the link for you to join. And it starts on Monday. And you'll be getting an email, and I should say Monday, May 6th. You'll be getting in your first email, you'll get a welcome email. And then in your first email that will come out on Monday, you'll be given the task. And I think in most instances, I'm giving you a tip on how to achieve that task. And then at 4 o'clock, you'll get a link that's embedded in the email to join Zoom at 4 p.m. where we can talk about any challenges that you had. If you were able to accomplish it, you can go over all of the tips and what have you that you need in order to achieve that task. So I hope to see you there. This, like I said, is my first challenge in 6 or 7 years. So I hope you'll be supportive of me on this challenge. And I look forward to seeing you. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. And please let me know. My monthly themes are set up in advance, but I can change things. So if there is a topic that you would like me to cover, please let me know. I can either do it as a one-off live stream, or I can make the next month a theme where I can come up with 4 or 5 live streams in reference to that topic. I would love to know what you would like to see from me so that I can make sure that I'm creating content that you're interested in ingesting. All right. So take care. Thank you again for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I'll see you next week. All right. Take care.